DOULUO DALU Chapter 20, Oscar's Big Fresh Sausage and Little Cured Sausage. Part 1. Still not done. Zhao Wuji in his heart was secretly furious, resolving to give this little hedgehog before his eyes a bit of a lesson, right hand blocking in front of his face, left hand's palm slapping at Tang San's chest. Of course, this palm of his did not use any amount of strength, only was because of his eating such a big loss, not once retaliating a little. His heart truly was uneasy. Of course, when this palm slapped out, he already withdrew his 10,000-year spirit ring ability Gravity Crush, or else Tang San simply would be directly crushed to death by this ability. Peng peng, two sounds echoed simultaneously. Tang San's body flew out by Zhao Wuji's palm slap, among them one sound naturally was produced by him, body flying in the air, belching out a mouthful of blood. His previous attack could even be said to have exhausted his thoughts and ingenuity, exhausting his mind and internal strength. Right now already was exhausted like a lamp dried up of oil, also how he endured this slap of Zhao Wuji's. Not passing out from the shock was already pretty good. Daimyo Bai released Zhu Zuking on the ground, figure flashing, moving like flying to receive Tang San's fall. The other muffled sound belonged to Zhao Wuji. Originally he thought this only was another hidden weapon of Tang San's, nothing more. His blocking Tang San's hammer was that not very effortless. But, as that hammer smashed on his palm, he already felt mistaken. That seemingly very small hammer's power was deeply profound, even though Zhao Wuji promptly pressed his spirit power, he after all because of previously, under the double influence of Datura snake venom and the pains over his body, his spirit power was somewhat insufficient. The hammer smashing his palm, the palm again struck his face, blood immediately flowed from Zhao Wuji's nose, again adding to that palm rubbing, immediately like opening a dyed cloth, his face bloomed like a great flower. The entire person a bit smashed senseless. But that black little hammer after smashing him, quietly disappeared. Tang San supported by Daimyo Bai, again coughed up a mouthful of blood, even though his injuries were not light, if only looking at the exterior, who would not believe just now this fight was Zhao Wuji's win. Of course, this was not to say Zhao Wuji's strength was not powerful. He after all was fighting with exam students, by fearing to truly injure Tang San somewhat bound hand and foot. Simultaneously he also thought to have a look at what level Tang San actually reached. He was also expert in physical strength, not expert in pursuit. Again adding Tang San's hidden weapon's sudden nature truly was too big, also among every kind of exquisite calculations, this just let the underestimating the enemy Zhao Wuji to eat a big loss. This also counted as greatly losing face. If it was a true fight, Zhao Wuji need only directly activate his fifth spirit ring ability, and Tang San would directly have been killed by him. The difference in actual strength was after all too large. If it only was a test, Tang San naturally would not be so desperate, but Xiao Wu's losing consciousness aroused the bloodthirst in his heart. Again adding Zhao Wuji's giving him enormous pressure, immediately made him erupt. Let alone the several clear-headed people here, even if it was Xiao Wu, she also had not seen Tang San's this day's kind of full-strength fighting appearance. Daimyo Bai looked at Zhao Wuji's all-over blood-stained face, wanting to smile but again not daring, hurriedly loudly shouting. Oscar, Oscar, quickly come. You have vitality. By means of spirit power pressing the voice, only had to be within this academy, probably nobody wouldn't hear. Several years later, when in the capacity of Shrek 7 Devil Boss Evil Eye White Tiger Daimyo Bai already won success and recognition, was asked, among Shrek 7 Devils, who was actually the most terrible. Daimyo Bai without the slightest hesitation answered, it was Softbones DOULUO Xiao Wu, for a very simple reason. Because she was Thousand Hands DOULUO Tang San's trigger one. Directly provoking Tang San might not at all be serious, but if provoking Xiao Wu and arousing Tang San's fury, then, terrible matters would appear. Tang San in that case no longer was Thousand Hands DOULUO, but was Thousand Hands Azura. Daimyo Bai all through his life was passionately romantic, even to the extent that within Shrek 7 Devils he was jokingly known as the unrivaled slut, but he had never teased Xiao Wu. Because he was an intelligent man, he absolutely did not want to confront a furious Tang San. And all this was because before him occurred this scene to remind him. Vitality where? Vitality where? Oscar's very characteristically soft voice, somewhat excited, came from far and near. Very quickly, he appeared before everyone. Maybe it was because he was too impatient, he even abandoned his cart, like this, running over by himself. Little Ao, come over. Daimyo Bai called towards him. Oscar hurriedly ran over. Boss Dai, were you calling me? Daimyo Bai nodded, saying. Hurry, take out several sausages. They all sustained injuries. Oscar was greatly happy. 5 copper spirit coins per sausage. Finally, do not forget to settle accounts with me. Your father too have a big sausage. During that monstrous spirit incantation, in his hand light flashed, immediately a savory sausage appeared. Daimyo Bai signaled to Tang San with his eyes. Eat. Although this fellow's words are a bit nauseating, his sausages indeed have very good effect. This is the first spirit ring added sausage, can accelerate the body's recovery of injuries. The sausage did not matter, but Tang San, recalling that line of Oscar's, at once could not help but have his stomach roll, hastily waving his hand. My injury is not serious, only am somewhat out of strength. I will be fine if resting a moment. You still let him give sausage for others to eat. Finished speaking, he immediately sat cross-legged upright, circulating his breath. Tang San not eating, did not mean other people also did not eat. For instance, someone who greatly lost face. Oscar, come over, sausage, give me each sausage. Zhao Wuji's voice was somewhat fuzzy, also it's no wonder he would be like this, although he relying on pure spirit power to compel the poison not to spread, in a flash by the poison hitting, his tongue was still swelling. Oscar blinked at him with those peach blossom eyes. Who are you, ah? How did you enter our Shrek Academy, and still know my name? Scoundrel, you want to receive punishment? I am Zhao Wuji. From Zhao Wuji's anger, a mouthful of air almost didn't come up, narrowly spouted blood. Part 2. At present this loss-eater shouted loudly, he currently only wanted to quickly treat the injuries on his body well, after that acting threatening before several children must not get out. Otherwise he, this motionless bright king, later would be unable to get along. Oscar very much wanted to ask Zhao Wuji how he would become like this, what Zhao Wuji's actual strength was, he could be very clear. But he very quickly saw Daimyo Bai giving him a meaningful glance. As an extremely acute person, Oscar immediately withdrew the astonishment on his face, as if it had never been there, groveling, coming before Zhao Wuji, handing over that sausage he took out just a moment ago, simultaneously chanting an incantation making everyone present not know whether to laugh or cry. Your father have a little sausage. Even if Oscar himself did not look so wretched, as this spirit incantation of his appeared, whether being wretched could no longer be significant. One sausage only the size of his little finger appeared in his grasp, quickly handing it to Zhao Wuji. Zhao Wuji also impolitely, one by one, ate and swallowed the fresh sausage and cured sausage. Complexion immediately becoming much better looking. Daimyo Bai, with difficulty resisting a smiling expression, walked back over to Zhu Zuking's side. Immediately receiving Zhu Zuking's extremely chilly glance. Zhu Zuking's injuries were not light, but she clearly was using her expression to inform Daimyo Bai, you would dare let that vulgar big sausage uncle bring over that sausage, you will definitely die. Daimyo Bai gave a helpless gesture, shaking his head towards her. Be at ease. I absolutely would not make you eat that fellow's thing. I could not bear it. In Zhu Zuking's eyes was cold expression, closing her eyes, looking yet not looking at Daimyo Bai. Eating Oscar's big fresh sausage and little cured sausage, Zhao Wuji's complexion immediately looked much better. The clothes on his body had in the previous fight already become very damaged. Directly he tore off a strip, wiping the dripping blood from his face. Oscar's big fresh sausage had a treatment effect. The little cured sausage consequently was dispelling abnormal states. These two kinds of foods effect both were extremely practical. The paralyzing feeling brought by the datura snake venom gradually faded, but acute pain made Zhao Wuji's facial muscles twitch. Bowing his head to look, he discovered on his body's skin had many swellings, twisted each and every one a walnut-sized bulge. Bursts of unbearable acute pain was coming from these bulges. Teacher Zhao, did we in the end pass or not? Standing to the side, among the 4 exam candidates the only one completely intact, Ning Rongrong pointed behind Zhao Wuji's back, asking towards him. Zhao Wuji turned his head to look. His burning incense had long ago already gone out. Angrily snorting. Counts as you passing. He currently also did not want to again remain. The feeling of being looked upon as laughingstock could be uncomfortable. Turning around about to leave. Teacher Zhao, wait a moment. At this time, a somewhat weak voice rose. Zhao Wuji turned his head to look. The speaker was just now still circulating breath Tang San. After a moment at rest, Tang San's consciousness apparently was a bit better, with difficulty standing up from the ground. Little hedgehog, you still have what matter? I already passed you for the test. Zhao Wuji looked at this youngster before him. In his heart was both hate and affection. Although he lost to this grown-up, he still managed to inflict minor injuries. The fighting potential and fighting will this child displayed, absolutely was a monster among monsters. Tang San said. Teacher Zhao, I am sorry. Just now I was too impetuous. However, your actual strength to my point of view is too formidable. I had no choice but to make an all-out effort. I will help you take out the hidden weapons within the body. Otherwise, perhaps they would affect your body to some extent. The concealed in Tang San's fingernails 10 dragon beard needles were currently all on Zhao Wuji's body. That swelling condition could not be casually resolved. For dragon beard needle to take its golden natural form, although it was classified as metal, it was not capable of magnetic attraction, again adding to piercing inside the body already being twisted up. Even if it was Tang San personally putting his hand to it, still must be under conditions not long after the injuries to be capable of removing, otherwise, in a short time deeply penetrating the flesh, in that case one could only completely cut open the injuries. Fortunately, Zhao Wuji's motionless bright king body's defense was astonishing. When fully using dragon beard needle, Tang San's internal strength was also already somewhat insufficient, therefore, dragon beard needle only injured his skin. Otherwise, if dragon beard needle shot into the body, that could not be able to saved. Hearing Tang San's words, Zhao Wuji's complexion looking somewhat well, face also could not help but redden so, after all, he was a spirit sage. Confronting a still less than 30th ranked child, he unexpectedly ended up using his 5th spirit ring. This clearly was the old taking advantage of the young. However, this little hedgehog also truly was difficult to deal with. That attack of fantastic oddities of every description, also truly opened Zhao Wuji's eyes. Tang San came over before Zhao Wuji, first making certain at once on his body the locations of dragon beard needles. Seeing the dragon beard needles for the most part were tangled under the skin, without any penetrating deeply. He also breathed out. After fighting Zhao Wuji with all his strength, the fury in his heart already faded. He instead was more or less regretful. After all, the other person was a teacher, certainly not his enemy, yet he went at it rather seriously. Of course, under those kinds of circumstances before, confronting Zhao Wuji bringing that matchless valiant pressure, not using all his strength would be impossible. Right hand once more becoming a white jade color, his fingers lightning quick pointed on Zhao Wuji's injuries in succession, controlling crane catching dragon energy touching the area, a golden needle point already came out from under the skin. Tang San pinched each needle point and with an effort pulled, taking out a dragon beard needle. Zhao Wuji at this certainly received hellish suffering. After dragon beard needle pierced the body it immediately curled up, intertwining together with his skin and muscles, this pulling outside, actually produced pain even if it was the insensitive motionless bright king, on his face could not help but twitch. After Tang San completely extracted the dragon beard needles, on Zhao Wuji's body already emitted a layer of dense steam, the whole body already covered by sweat amidst the acute pain, however he also could be considered unyielding, and unexpectedly had not uttered a groan. Part 3. Again he ate a sausage supplied by Oscar. The open injuries on Zhao Wuji's body began to rapidly heal, the pain also reducing correspondingly. Tang San had just now not recovered much of his internal strength and was once again exhausted. This time he did not even speak, just directly passed out. Fortunately Oscar at his side, hurriedly caught him. Zhao Wuji's strength was formidable, on his body the injuries were all on the surface. Under the use of Oscar's fresh sausage and dried sausage, in a moment's work he already recovered 90%. Looking at the unconscious Tang San in Oscar's arms, Zhao Wuji's brows wrinkled minutely, saying, "Mubai, you are in charge of getting these 4 new students settled. Tomorrow the term starts. You must not move the hidden weapons this Tang San littered all over, some are poisoned, wait until he wakes up and let him gather them himself." Leaving behind these sentences, Zhao Wuji at this just turned and left. Following Zhao Wuji walking in the distance with his eyes, Oscar supporting Tang San reached Dai Muabai's side, letting Tang San also lean to the side. Looking at Tang San, again looking at the not lightly wounded Zhu Zuqing and on the other side the unconscious Xiao Wu in Ning Rongrong's arms, could not help but say, "What's going on with teacher Zhao today? Menstruation came 3? What's he up to making life difficult for a few freshmen?" Dai Muabai unhappily said. "Can you speak a bit louder, let teacher Zhao hear you better. Right now I reckon he is holding back a belly full of fire, just don't know who he will find to vent on." "Menstruation? I see you're menstruating. 30 days a month. Approximately still can rest 1 day, barring February, still must lack 2 days. Oscar somewhat resentfully said. "Don't say it so lewdly, all right, there are still girls present. Get lost, you have your big sausage uncle place, can you still lack lewdness? We'll first settle down these few and then speak again." While speaking, Dai Muabai stood up with Zhu Zuqing from the ground, regarding Zhu Zuqing's ice-cold murderous gaze, he seemed to basically just not see it. Oscar looked at Dai Muabai, again looked on the other side at Ning Rongrong, whispering, "Why are you holding those beautiful girls, while I'm carrying a guy?" Dai Muabai's evil eyes swept across. This is a question of character. When Tang San awoke from his sleep, outside the sky was already gradually darkening, somewhat drowsily opening his eyes, he discovered he was lying in a wooden house. The room was not big, about 10 or more square meters. Apart from the bed he was lying on, to the side was still another bed. Oscar sat on it, muttering something unknown to himself. "Where is this?" Tang San's voice was a bit hoarse, within his body continuously had an empty feeling. Oscar saw him awake. "This is our dorm, hereafter it's you and me together. You're called Tang San, right? Today you were truly awesome. Even a fierce person like that teacher Zhao ate a loss from you." Oscar's peach blossom eyes blinked, looking at Tang San, in his eyes clearly expressing an excited light. "Xiao Wu? How is she?" This was Tang San's most important question. Oscar said, "Be at ease. She's all right. She and that beautiful Ning Rongrong live together. Should recover from sleeping for a night. That 7 treasures glazed tile school's Ning Rongrong is truly beautiful." Speaking, he still swallowed saliva. Peach blossom eyes shining repeatedly. Tang San propped himself up to sit, after consuming a great amount of internal strength he most feared relaxing, if he did not promptly recover, it was very possibly could lower his cultivation. "Hey, Tang San. From now on we are roommates. How about first getting to know each other? My self-introduction. This one is Oscar 4, 29th ranked Tool Spirit Master, Spirit, Sausage. Nicknamed Sausage Monopoly. You can call me Sausage Monopoly Oscar. You can also directly call me Little AO. Tang San smiled, saying. It's not Big Sausage Uncle then. Pay 5 what Big Sausage Uncle? Tomorrow I shave my beard. Let you have a look at my handsomely natural, outstandingly elegant, refined wind-side. The academy got several pretty juniors, I can't again be so dejected. Daimyo by that fellow clearly fancies that ice cube beautiful woman, Xiaowu is yours. Then I also can only make an effort with that difficult to pursue Ning wrong. Me and Xiaowu are only friends. Tang San frowned, Oscar's speaking pattern more or less suited him. Oscar smiled vulgarly, saying. Come on, don't pretend. We're both men, who doesn't understand who, Didn't expect, you at such young age, unexpectedly picked up a beautiful young lady. You a lone man and lone woman coming all the way to the academy, what can't have happened? Boss Dai said, exactly because Xiaowu was injured you just went at Zhaowuji like it was your life. You say you are only friends, who will believe it? Be at ease, I Little AO am very principled, what is called EO friend's wife is impolite, no, it's EO should not covet your friend's wife 6. I absolutely will not have notions regarding your Xiaowu. Seeing the strange light continuously in Oscar's peach blossom eyes, Tang San was speechless. He also didn't feel like explaining anything again, directly entering cultivation state, beginning his internal strength recovery. In the dead of night, the entire Shrek Academy was completely quiet. In the day's exam, just like what Daimyo Bai anticipated, besides Tang San's 4, there was not one exam candidate that could pass the third test. And this still was several years since, the most students Shrek Academy accepted in 1 year. Zhaowuji as deputy chairman, naturally had his own residence, and was right now alone within a room somewhat sulky. He already changed into clean clothes, the wounds on his body had also healed, those minor injuries naturally could not be regarded as anything, but the blow to his mental state could not be small. How could he have expected? He originally only was scratching in intention to exercise his body, yet greatly lost face. If it was before, he would not even have thought about it, Tang San would immediately have died by his hand. But right now their position was different, he was an academy teacher, Tang San was a student. He could only swallow this smothering air. Part 4. Simultaneously, he also greatly appreciated Tang San. From seeing his talent this Tang San would be more powerful than even to Daimyo Bai. Only his spirit was innately somewhat weak, otherwise, maybe in the future he would be an exceptional power. Right hand making a fist, hitting his left palm, Zhaowuji said with a helpless sigh. Counts as my bad luck. Why did I encounter this little hedgehog? Apparently, hereafter I still must properly instruct him. Uncut jade won't make a tool. Speaking the last line, Zhaowuji couldn't help but display a somewhat vicious smile. Zhaowuji. While Zhaowuji thought about how to properly drill Tang San in the future, a suddenly appearing voice made the smile on his face freeze in a moment. One must know, he was a 76th rank spirit sage, in the entire DOULUO continent spirit master realm, all high-level existences, with spirit power already formidable were able to form around their bodies a fantastic chi, able to clearly discover the sound of tree leaves floating down within a radius of 100 meters of his body. But right now, he had not at all sensed someone around him, and this voice even more was stabbing into his ear, sounding like it was spoken next to his ear. This kind of strength already made Zhaowuji greatly alert, he did not at all recognize this voice, but he could be certain, the visitor's strength was in no way beneath his. Who? Fiercely springing up, in Zhaowuji's eyes released a cold light. Originally in the spirit master realm his reputation was not too good, enemies not few. These years hiding within Shrek Academy had been tranquil, he had not expected this suddenly appearing powerful opponent. Come out! A wisp of faintly discernible chi locked on Zhaowuji's body. Zhaowuji without the slightest hesitation pierced through the window shutters, arriving outside. Spirit power abruptly elevated to the peak, cautious and solemnly on guard, simultaneously searching around him for activity. Who was Zhao Wuji? Motionless Bright King originally also murdered countless sons, being provoked by an unknown opponent like this, adding to the day's depressed stuffy air on his mind, immediately made his rage bubble up. Underfoot using strength, pulling towards that chi at high speed. In a moment's work he already reached Shrek Academy's edge, arriving in a grove outside. That trace of chi also finally faded away here. Come out. I know you're here. Zhao Wuji's deep voice shouted loudly. Simultaneously, he immediately completed his spirit body enhancement, 7 spirit rings rhythmically revolving up and down around his body, flickering with dazzlingly beautiful light, especially those 3 black 10,000-year spirit rings, looking even more astonishingly abstruse. A black silhouette unhurriedly walked out from behind the trunk of a big tree. This person's whole body was shrouded in black clothes, even to the extent that the head had a black covering. From the exterior appearance, one could only see he was a large man. Who are you? Zhao Wuji coldly shouted, having completed Spirit Vigorous Vajra Bear transformation, his whole body released a coarse and wild atmosphere, not anger from power. The black-clad man did not directly answer his words, only coolly said. At this minor place meeting the motionless Bright King, I am only thinking to exchange pointers with you. Quite a while without exercising the body. While speaking, the black-clad man slowly raised his right hand. Immediately, a black light condensed in his hand, transforming into a huge tool. At the same time, a whole 9 spirit rings quietly appeared on his body. 2 yellow, 2 purple, 5 black. 9 spirit rings not at all like Zhao Wuji's moving with that kind of rhythm, but were distinctly calmly still on the black-clad man's body, completely enveloping his body within. 9 spirit rings were an extremely terrible existence, especially his that last spirit ring, within the black faintly penetrated red. If Grandmaster was here, he certainly would see, while it equally was 10,000 spirit ring, the disparity was still huge. For instance, a cultivating for 10,000 years spirit beast's spirit ring with a cultivating for 90,000 years spirit beast's spirit ring, how they possibly still be alike? That rosy within black color, represented that spirit ring had attained at least the 90,000 year level. Seeing the black-clad man before him release 9 spirit rings, Zhao Wuji felt like he was splashed with cool water, whole body shivering. As a spirit sage level spirit master, he understood the disparity between higher level spirit masters. Reaching 60th rank or higher, let alone the gap between one stage, even if it was only 1 rank's difference, the strength had a certain difference. On the surface it would appear, he should have a gap of about 20 ranks with the black-clad man before him, but he was very clear on the gap between him and this black-clad man. It was bigger than even compared to the gap between him and Tang San. Title DOULUO. With difficulty spitting out these 2 words, Zhao Wuji's motionless Bright King body somewhat trembled. If speaking of him as a high-level existence among Spirit Master, then title DOULUO was an apex existence among Spirit Masters. The previous words' aggressiveness were like blown off the face of the earth. Zhao Wuji hurriedly stooped in salute. May one ask who visiting senior might be? Please do not play a joke on this 1-7. How could I join in exchanging pointers with you? The black-clad man coolly said. What joining or not? When you today was bullying those several children, was it not also done very well? I discovered, bullying people apparently feels pretty good. Let me also bully you. Of course, you can consider me like this as the strong mistreating the weak. Without emitting any atmosphere of strength, the black-clad man's hands grasped that immense implement, walking step by step towards Zhao Wuji. Zhao Wuji's mind worked like lightning. On the continent, title DOULUO could be counted on the fingers, and each one was of a famous family. This title DOULUO before him clearly had a tool spirit. Tool spirit cultivating to title DOULUO level were even fewer. In the end, who was he? Suddenly, the black-clad man at a 10-meter distance from Zhao Wuji stopped his steps. Since coming, at once come out. 1 or 2, still there is no difference, right? Part 5. With a flicker, at Zhao Wuji's side suddenly stood a person. When this person appeared, Zhao Wuji's expression immediately relaxed a bit. Boss, this senior. The new arrival waved his hand to Zhao Wuji, indicating he must not open his mouth. Confronting the intangible pressure, the arrival had no choice but to release his spirit. A pair of huge wings stretched open from his back, the whole body covered by a layer of feathers, pupils standing upright and a pair of orange-yellow eyes, 7 spirit rings appearing with colors like Zhao Wuji's, rhythmically revolving up and down his body. One greets His Eminence Hao Tian 8. This person was not only without any intent to fight, but on the contrary respectfully saluted the black-clad person. Zhao Wuji drew in a sharp breath, hearing his comrade's words. He at last knew who this person before him was. His heart contracting, heavens, at what time had he committed an offense against this terrifying fellow? This person before him could be regarded as the Spirit Master Realm's #1 strongest power title DOULUO. Direction of spirit's development completely the same as his, but comparing his own power with his, he was only the light of a firefly. The black-clad man coldly said, "You need not be overcourteous, I have come looking for trouble." Cat's Eagle Spirit, 78th rank, worthy of originally being known as Golden Iron Triangle's Lord of Battle Flender 9. This Shrek Academy should be yours. Flender nodded, saying, "Yes, Your Eminence. I am unaware of in what respect Zhao Wuji committed an offense against the Lord 10 Eminence. Is it possible to somewhat let me save face?" The black-clad man coldly said. "Less nonsense, stand aside. Otherwise I will break you together. Zhao Wuji, I give you this opportunity, I won't use my spirit. If you can persevere against me for 1 stick of incense of time, I will not say more and leave immediately. Otherwise, you must stand in for me to handle a matter." Zhao Wuji said with a bitter smile. "Lord Eminence Hao Tian, I truly do not understand where I have offended you. Perhaps you could first tell me clearly." His meaning was very clear, even if dying still must let me die understanding. But at Zhao Wuji's side Flender without any spirit of loyalty immediately got out of the way to the side, clearly not intending to care about Zhao Wuji again. The black-clad man coldly snorted. "Still need me to say it? Beating the young, the old naturally must come to recover justice. This is a matter of heaven's law and earth's principle. Get to it." The immense implement in the black-clad man's hands along with the 9 spirit rings on his body simultaneously faded away, but in a moment, he had already arrived before Zhao Wuji. Peng peng, hong hong, a euro 11. The sound of impacts, sound of air strength surging, muffled groans, blood-curdling screams, right now those sounds were concealed by the grove. To the side the 2-winged Flender could not help but cover his eyes and tilt his head, not having the heart to look again. Basically there was no need to light a stick of incense, the entire fight was already finished between 10 breaths. The black-clad man stood holding his hands, seeming as if nothing had happened, not even a trace of creasing had appeared on his black clothes. But the pitiful Zhao Wuji right now lay on his stomach on the ground, his head swollen round, 2 eyes even more became black. The corners of his mouth dark red with blood, he lay on the ground gasping big mouthfuls of breath. "Zhao Wuji, do you understand?" The black-clad man coolly said. Flender just now dared to come over, supporting Zhao Wuji up off the ground. What was beyond expectation was, Zhao Wuji's face was full of gratitude. "Many thanks for the directions Your Eminence Hao Tian." The black-clad man nodded to the pair, lips humming, in a low voice speaking several sentences. Zhao Wuji and Flender simultaneously nodded, their faces showing earnest expressions. "Those just now, is considered to be your compensation. I'll trouble you hereafter." The black-clad man's voice was no longer cold, but still very calm. Behind the black-clad man's mask, his pair of hidden eyes revealed a faint warmth. Finished speaking these last words, figure flickering, he already quietly disappeared. Zhao Wuji stood there with Flender. The two people for a long time did not move. His body also must be supported on Flender's arm to be able to stand stably. Flender, you this fellow are truly without loyalty. Other people ask you to stand aside and you at once stand aside? Were it not for his lordship eminence not having any evil intention, perhaps my dead body would have cooled. Zhao Wuji grumbled. Currently, the two men's spirits had both been withdrawn. Standing at Zhao Wuji's side was a large old man, regarding his words, slightly lisping. If Tang San and Xiaowu were here, they certainly would recognize, this old man was from that day they spent 200 gold spirit coins to buy the hair crystal, exactly that deceitful business proprietor. Flender snappily said. What do you understand? If he truly had evil intentions, just adding me alone, don't tell me we at once would not have died? Have you not heard of his martial reputation? Including the Pope and all people that dare fight, he would abstain from what? He just now already said, if he won he let you take his place to handle a matter, so naturally he would not truly injure you. Otherwise how would you substitute for him to handle that matter? You do not understand this. Only, I just didn't expect he actually was. Zhao Wuji said with a wry smile. How could I be unable to tell your reason? You did not want to infuriate him. Only, after me being beaten this wretchedly, won't you let me grumble a few words? However, his power actually is too terrifying. Even without being under spirit body enhancement, I was still by far not a match. I see, his spirit power perhaps already surpassed 95th rank. The distance to the Dushan 100th rank is already quite close. Maybe on all the continent, there still would not be even a few people able to contend with him. Flender said. What part of title DOULUO is also good to provoke? This time you still count as fortunate. Walk, will return. Although you are a bit wretched today, able to obtain his directions, with a similar type spirit power, to you the benefits are still very big. The night was already deep, within were Shrek Academy's students, who also did not know this seeming tranquil night already held such events. As for Zhao Wuji being beaten to a pig face, this time he could not be able to recover so quickly. 1. A copyright A euro A copyright A superscript 3 A 3/4, actually opposing scale, as in rubbing someone the wrong way, which doesn't have a good noun in English. 2. He refers to himself as AAAANAA, an excessively arrogant way to refer to oneself. Something like I'm your daddy baked into a formal personal pronoun. 3. Alternatively great aunt came, but this probably refers to the slang interpretation. 4. He's using a very humble form to refer to himself. 5. A yen A euro A, spitting sounds. 6. He's quoting an idiom, A euro superscript 1 A yen A euro superscript 1 A yen A yen A degree, but first accidentally says, A euro degree A degree A euro A euro superscript 1 A yen A euro superscript 1 A yen A yen A registered trademark A cent A degree A euro, which is pronounced almost exactly the same, ending with BA with tilde A with circumflex superscript 1 K A with tilde A with circumflex Q A with tilde A with circumflex instead of BA with tilde A with circumflex superscript 1 Ka A euro degree QAA. 7. He's using a subservient form of referring to himself. 8. How yen my angzia, AEOEA A yen A copyright A yen A euro cent A euro superscript 1, the name is literally read as boundless heaven, the suffix, A yen A euro cent A euro superscript 1, is a theocratic appellation of worship/respect and it seemed eminence was an appropriate analog. 9. A copyright A euro A with tilde copyright A euro A copyright A euro A euro degree A euro trademark A euro A with tilde yen A 1/4 A yen A euro A degree A yen A 3/4 A. It could also be Flender of the Golden Iron Triangle Lords of Battle. Feel free to make better sense of this. 10. Darren, A yen A degree, literally great person, a title of respect towards one's superiors. They're basically stacking terms of respect by now. 11 Onomatopoeia for slamming, exploding, and screaming sounds.